Hello everyone and welcome back to Age of Nagash, which is of course a channel dedicated to Age of Sigmar, and in this video we are going to be talking about the new Battleforce boxes coming out for Age of Sigmar, also known as the Christmas boxes. Now I just want to say I wanted to get in the Christmas spirit for this video today, and I couldn't find a Christmas jumper that fit me from last year, so I have gone with the Christmas bow. So hopefully you guys can appreciate the effort. The other thing I'd say as well is, if you're wondering in this sort of video what I'll be covering with these Battleforce boxes, my idea is to try and help you guys know if this is a Battleforce box that you'll want to buy, you know, one of 4 of them. And one of them's not Stormcast for some reason. What? And the other thing I'll say, when I'm going into these review of these Battleforce boxes, bear in mind, although I'll be involved in things, you know, like the points value you get for them, you know, what's best for money in that terms, what's actually best for money in terms of how much it costs to buy all this separately compared to how much it's going to cost you to just buy the box. And things like, you know, the models being cool and all that sort of stuff. But I'm not going to be looking at this as like what out of all these boxes is the most competitive to take to a tournament, all that. That's not really how I play Age of Sigmar. So if you want to know the most tactical sort of analysis of these boxes, go watch someone else's review. Essentially, this is more of a summary video, like this is hot news at the moment, and I wanted to cover it as I generally do cover these boxes, I think, every year. But yeah, so with that, guys, go any more questions or let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below, but I just want to get that out of the way, and I just want to also add that a big shout out to Monty and Ben in my Discord, who are the guys that have helped me loads with the information from these boxes so I can give you the best detail I can. So cheers to you guys for helping me out on that one. And with that ado, let us actually read through this article, which I haven't read through yet, but I have seen the boxes and what we're going to get. So, it says, these Warhammer Age of Sigmar battle forces are the perfect gift from the mortal realms. We've got a nice little grot here in a Santa uniform. So, hurrah! It's Battleforce Day. For those of you who have not had the pleasure before, battle forces are a bit of an annual tradition here, Yuletide releases that encompass a massive army. This year there are 4 Battleforce boxes available for a Warhammer Age Sigmar. I think that's standard now. I think 40k gets 6 and we get 4. But like I said, weirdly no Stormcast. But anyway, so Warhammer Age Sigmar, and they're going to be available in December, making them perfect candidates for a Warhammer Plus vouchers you've been earning this month, if you have signed up to Warhammer Plus, that is. So these are the 4 boxes. So we've got a Soulblight Gravelords one, we've got a Hedonites Slaanesh one, we've got a Luminesce Realm Lords one, and we've got an Ossiarch Bone Reapers. So pretty spoiled if you're a Death player, you know, half the Death armies. There's stuff for you. If you are a Nighthaunt player, I think last year there was Nighthaunt one, or the one before, so not too long ago. And if you're a Flesh Eater Core player, you know, you had a big box set come out about 4 years ago, something like that, so not too long. And I have to say, I find generally this box is quite attractive. Like 3 of these boxes I would generally like to have. Luminesce one, not really my cup of tea, but if you do like the new core models, good value box for you, but we'll go into all this in detail. Looks like we're starting the Soulblight one, so it says that is a whole lot of miniatures. Let's take a closer look at what each of these contains for a perspective general. So, the Soulblight Gravelords one. What it says is, with a love of all things claret and dead for the gifting, don't know. Vampires are the ultimate festive force. The Revenant Legion is a party in a box with 66 models, including a bestial Vengorian Lord, 5 barded Blood Knights, 20 Death Rattle Skeletons, warriors, and I count them as 40 Deadwalker zombies. So what this means is, basically, if we break it down, this can be 875 points or 880 points, depending on how you build it. And just tell you completely now, because I know this off by heart. Depending on how you build it, is if you want to build the Vengorian Lord here, if you want to build the Mother of Nightmares for an extra 5 points. That's the difference you want to. So nearly 1,000 points in this box, which I think, I'm looking at that, and I think that's a lot of models, you know, for not even 900 points, which just shows because it's obviously more of a horde stuff. But what I like about the Soulblight box, which is, to be honest, the box that I'm most tempted to get. I've got so much stuff in my backlog at the moment that I'm probably not going to be buying this, to be honest with you. But it's definitely one that tempts me the most because there's so many nice models here. They're not chucking any of the old models in. There's no like old skeletons, I suppose they're out now, but there's no Graveguard like they've already done on one of those Star Collecting boxes, or Black Knights or something. It's actually all going to be stuff that you want as well. So it's lovely new models, and it's all stuff you want, like Blood Knights. are generally really good in Soul Black Gravelords, and they're going to be in my next review video for them. And obviously, Deadwalker Zombies and Skeletons, you've already seen what I had to say about them. And very good stuff indeed. Particularly, I know a lot of people are taking zombies at the moment. So you're going to be wanting this stuff in this box as well, which is very useful. And they're not just chucking in all the stuff that you don't really need, as they do sometimes do. So that's good. And the Vengorian Lord is a useful unit in the army. Makes the enemy, subtracts 1 from their rend and all that sort of thing, which is good. Makes your army a lot more survivable. And I personally, I know it's sort of like a different opinion to a lot of people, but I do really like the Vengorian Lord model. And all these models, I have, I don't know, many thousands of points of like Soul Black Gravelords, like over 5,000 as an example. But I don't have any of these new models. So like it's a very approachable box to me and someone else who already has a Soul Black Gravelords army. So that's the Venomous Legion. So yeah, big fan of that. Anything else to say? Also, if you wanted to buy all this stuff separately, it's going to be 184 £184 even. And obviously, if you're euros or dollars, you have to work that out yourself. But I also presume that these boxes are going to be £125 because that's how much I believe they were last year and probably the year before. There was a time when Battleforce boxes, the first time, they were £100 and that was a fantastic deal. Well, let's say they're £125. Now, at the end of the day, that's not too bad. You're going to save yourself, what's that, 60, what's that, £59? Rough maths. That's not really a bad price for brand new models, to be honest with you, and if you wanted this stuff anyway. Yeah, and I think this is a good start to a Soul Black Gravelords army. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that one. And then on to the Sith Knights of Slaanesh, which I just, say it now, fantastic looking models. Love it. Slaanesh is my Chaos God of choice, but if we're talking in terms of competitiveness, if you are really into that, it's not the most competitive army. So, obviously, if that is what you care about, then you're not going to buy this. But everyone else who wants to buy models that are cool, let's crack on. So, the Battleforce Sith Knights of Slaanesh, the Symbarite Blade Carnival. Apologies for every single word I'm going to get pronounced wrong in this video. It says, every day is a carnival of excess for the followers of Slaanesh. They do nothing but buy halves, and the Battleforce is a testament to living life to the fullest. This entirely mortal complement is ready to inflict and take grievous wounds in order to call forth Slaanesh's demons, all in the name of a good time. And I actually have to really do agree with that as a Slaanesh player. But what I would also say is that I do, as much as I criticise Games Workshop as if I feel like they deserve it essentially, which is far too often these days, I do want to give my hats off to them in terms of like they are chucking new models in these boxes. Like we said for the Soul Black Gravelords one, we also see it here as well. No demons in this box. Obviously, if you're a Slaanesh demon fan and stuff, it sucks to be you. But for me, the Mortals look the coolest, and they put all these brand new models in here. And I know you could, like I mentioned, that it's not the most competitive army, but these models are expensive to buy. Normally, like, it's 196 pounds to buy this all separately, and then if we say it's going to be £125 to buy in this box, then that means it's going to be £71 saving. Again, just roughly trying to work out in my head. I think so. That's a fantastic saving. Bang on really for all these new models. Some of them are fantastic. My favourite Slaanesh models have got to be these Seekers we can see here. I think they're absolutely brilliant. I generally really like all the models in this box. And it would just be like a really cool painting project and stuff, I think. So if this is like available in a year's time or something like that, I don't know, it will be. We all know these boxes might sell out sooner rather than later, but some of the ones from last year are still knocking around. I would be tempted to pick this up in like a year from now if it was available at the end of the day. So yeah, I do like that. And also, talking about points wise, it's going to be 120 points or 170 points depending on how you want to build models from this box set. So you're getting over 1,000 points of models in this box set. So this box set is absolutely fantastic value. Essentially, it's only like second value in terms of money wise to the Luminesce box, but if we're talking points value wise, it's second also to the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. But I feel like this is, if you take the competitive gameplay out of it, I think this is probably the best value box, because you just, the amount of how much these models cost separately and how fantastic they look. And this will take you bloody ages to paint if you want to look at it in like, money's worth sort of way. But yeah, absolutely really do like these guys. So yeah, that's them. And then going on to the Luminesce, let's say it's not really for me, but let's see what it says. So, the Aeos of Hysh reflect the aspect of Tyrion and Teclis. When they wage war, the Venari are the shining blades of the Luminesce, all elaborate hats and gleaming metal. These elite fighters can still juice themselves up with spells, but most of their fighting is done via stabbing and hacking, albeit in a elegant, elvish way. And it says, with Venari, Olana Wardens, Blade Lords, Dawn Riders, and a Star Shard Ballista, all led by a Venarian Banner Lord and a Lord Regent. This is the perfect Tyranic hammer for newly arrived Realm Lords. So, in this box set, what you're going to get is you're going to get yourself, points-wise, 115 points or 175 points, depending again on loader, how you want to build it. And it's going to cost you £199 to buy the set, which, the Sinesh one was fantastic, but like I mentioned, that means that this one is, £3 more better value than that one. So what's that? That makes this a £74 roughly from what we're guessing. Discount you're going to get from this box. So if you really, really do like your Luminesce Realm Lords, this is going to be a good box for you. I know Monty, who's in the Discord, is thinking about getting some Luminesce Realm Lords, is pretty tempted by this box as well, because from what I know of the Luminesce Realm Lords, I'll be honest, I say I'm not an expert, but I think this is quite a good start. I'm looking at this as it's a similar sort of loadout what you're going to get from when they brought out that first box set for the Luminesce Realm Lords in the first release. But it should got some added extras. Let me get my word right. And then you haven't got those archers from the Luminesce Realm Lords, which are really, really good. Those Sentinels, right? They're broken from what I hear on the internet. But they might not be in this box, but I think that's a good thing. You're going to have more friends, I would say. So that's this box set. But I think, although it's the most expensive box set to buy separately, if I look at it compared to the Sinesh one, I just feel like, it looks like you get more models in there. I don't know. I just prefer Sinesh. It's cooler, right? And then going on to something more for me, though, is going to be... Oh, actually, did I don't know if I said how many points this was. This is 815 to 875. I think I did say it. But anyway, going on to also Bone Reapers. So, Battleforce also Bone Reapers, the Mortasan Tithe Elicon. So, where other armies give the gifts of depravity, ancient curses, and gleaming sun metal, the Ossiarch Bone Reapers are all take. Specifically, they like to pilify the bones of those Nagash's believes owes him. If you've watched the recent Lawmaster episode on Nagash, you'll watch my lore videos on Bone Reapers much better. Commanded by a Mortasan Bone Shaper and a Soul Reaper, these immortal debt collectors include 20 Mortech and 3 Necropolis Stalkers, or 3 Immortus Guard if you prefer. A Gothizzar Harvester refashions errant bones into new contracts for the army, while the Mortech Crawler hurls the gifts of caskets of screaming souls at the besieged enemies. These mammoth battle forces are to be stuffed into delivery cannons knees. Okay, so let's go on to the next thing. But just to say about these guys, so you're going to get the best points value here from these boxes in the Ossiarch Bone Reaper one, because it's going to get you a total value of 1,140 points to 1,150 points. So more than half your army, if that's what you want. And as someone who's played a fair bit of Ossiarch Bone Reapers, you're going to want most of this stuff. Like, I can tell you that you're going to want a catapult, at least. Again, I know that people can make their saves really good in Age of Sigmar, but they can only do, all-out defense on, one of those units in the shooting phase and stuff. So everything... I get a bit fed up when I hear people go, oh, everything's got a top save in Age. So, well, it hasn't. You can't use it all the time. You can do Mystic Shield once, etc. But what I'd say you don't really need from this box is probably the Soul Reaper. This guy here, I believe he's got a Soul Reaper, yeah. Bone Shaper's good. If you haven't taken Arcan or Nagash in your list, a Bone Shaper is useful. Gothizzar Harvesters are just generally useful anyway. Mortarch Crawlers just because, like I said, that flat 5 damage. If your opponent doesn't roll and get that save, I've had it where your opponent like fluffs their dice and they get like 3 2s or something, or 3 3s or whatever it was, or fail their save, and suddenly you just go, that's 15 damage just from that. And if you had an extra attack and everything else, it's good. Mortarch Guard are good, and the Necropolis Stalkers, I really like them. I took them in a second edition, but I took them in a tournament and took a load of them in my army. I did pretty well, and the thing I like about them, because they can obviously use their own command abilities separately, it works quite independently. Even you just have like 3 on a flank or something, the enemy can't ignore it because it's quite a fast moving unit. They can climb over walls, everything else, and can deal a fair bit of damage for what it's worth. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Stalkers. Again, I think the Ossic Bone Reapers are a bit in a position at the moment. It's a bit of a pain in the arse because a lot of things in Age of Sigmar 3rd edition now sort of like hint towards using the sort of like core command abilities, but Ossic Bone Reapers can't do that unless there's an FAQ that comes out at some point that changes it. So it feels like they're not allowed to play with all the toys available to everyone, which is sad. But I think this box set is a good start to an Ossic Bone Reaper army. And talking about, savings and stuff, £180 this would cost to buy separately. So there you go, because there isn't a start collecting box for the Ossic Bone Reapers. That's why I thought they would get a Battleforce box. Like, I think I might have said He Knights of Slaanesh as well, but the one that I definitely thought was going to get a Battleforce was Ossic Bone Reapers, for sure. And I think, like, you're getting some good stuff in here, especially how in the UK anyway, if you wanted to get some cheap Stalkers or some Mortarch Guard, you probably could, because there's a lot of those Feast of Bones, leftover boxes lying around that people bought multiple off, etc. You can probably buy the half they didn't want for cheap, etc. But things like the Crawler, Catapult, the Harvester, and even the Bone Shaper, you can't really get separately for cheap. So yeah, I think this is a good box, and again, I like Games Workshop for putting models in these boxes that you can't easily get somewhere else, and they are all new models. Like, we look at the Ossic Bone Reapers, right? The Luminesce Realm Lords, the He Knights of Slaanesh, and the Mortal side, and then the Soulblight Gravelords. They're all what I would still call new armies. Like, obviously, Soulblight Gravelords and Luminesce, I think, are the 2 newest. And you could go, well, Bone Reapers came out like 3 years ago now, or something, or probably 2 years ago. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, pretty sure it's 2 years ago. I'd still class that as a new army. So I'm glad that we can see new armies here. I'd say that, like, I'm happy that we haven't got a Stormcast one, because I thought usually we get 4 of these every year, right? And there's always a Stormcast one. There's just always a Stormcast one. So it's like we kind of get, if you don't collect Stormcast, or you're not interested in buying into them, there's only 3 Battleforce boxes every year, right? Because one of them's always taken for Stormcast. So I'm pretty sure it's the same with 40k. I think once of 40k there was like 3 of the boxes out of 6 or something were Space Marines. So it kind of sucked if you didn't like Space Marines. But I think I'm pretty happy here that we've got 4 different ones. Again, I am sad though that there is no destruction. I just honestly think that there's 4 boxes for Age of Sigmar in these Battle Forces. There's 4 options if you want to get one, as that's been the case for years now, ever since they started doing this. And I just feel like there should be 1 for each Grand Alliance, because obviously the Games Workshop makes a big thing about Age of Sigmar split into 4 Grand Alliances, right? Grand Alliance Death, Grand Alliance Order, Grand Alliance Destruction, Grand Alliance Chaos. That there should be 1 for each. It just makes sense to me. And this is coming from someone who's got 2 Death ones here, and obviously my favourite is Death. And I'm saying it. So if I'm saying it, then I feel like it would be fair. And what they make one of the ones I thought they were going to be a Destruction one, and I thought it was going to be not Ogres, because we had that last year. Not Gloomspite Gits, because I think they've had like 2 in total over the years. Not Cruel Boys, because they're far too new. I Endures potentially, but I thought it was going to be Bone Splitters, because I thought that's an army that doesn't sell that great at the moment. I don't think Games Workshop are selling loads of them, and they nerfed them a bit in the new Battletome. So I thought they were going to try and shift them in one of these boxes, but they haven't done it. So, I don't know if to say, that's sad for not being able to buy Bone Splitters for cheaper, or, hats off to Games Workshop for not just picking something that they're not selling. you know, hence the Heat Knights of Slaanesh, the Mortar side. But, you know, just make their rules better, for God's sake. Anyway, let's read on, shall we, rather than just muttering. So it says these mounted battle forces are to be stuffed into delivery cannons near you very soon. So keep an eye on Warhammer Community for more information. But there's one more thing. The Grandfather is always waiting because, in the end, all things return to him, including articles about stunning box sets. Not wanting to miss out, he has unleashed a festering cankersaur into our world in the form of Vanguard, Maggot King of Nurgle, a complete starter army in a box, much like Warhammer 40,000's combat patrols. So, does that mean the Star Collecting Boxes are going away? Is this going to be the new form of Star Collecting Boxes? And I really feel like they have made a crap ton of Star Collecting Boxes for Age of Sigmar, so there'll be a long shift over to do it, but they might do, you know, it's in the new artworks, the new stars, not just, you know, a blank white background and everything. So they could do that. And this Battleforce, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know loads about Nurgle right now, but it looks like you're getting your Blight Kings. I know people love Blight Kings. You're getting, obviously, Battle Line in the Plague Bearers, and you're getting I mean, I'm not really a Nurgle guy, to be honest with you, but these are two of my favourites of Nurgle models that they do on the big flies, so I'd be cool with that. So yeah, you get that, and it says it's a good starter army. You know, don't take my word for it, but apparently so. So we have to trust Games Workshop on that one. But I think that's cool. Again, I don't know the price. I'm going to guess about £65, but you know, I don't know what the 40k combat, what are they called? Combat patrol boxes. I don't know what they cost, so I imagine a similar price to that. And obviously that can pretty much, with conversions and stuff, you're probably using 40k as well. But it says, look forward to more Warhammer Age of Sigmar armies, getting these in the near future. Vampiric gifts, unlike Christmas gifts, have a tendency to turn you into a shell of your former self. Vampires, not popular at parties in the Mortal Realms, apparently. Lots of profiteering, blah, blah, blah. I can't bother to read the rest of that. But what I will say, so, because I probably titled this video as, should you buy one of these boxes? And it's just something easy to title this video as, and that's generally the idea of it. So, these 4 boxes here, should you buy them? If you're wanting to definitely get into these armies, and it's not like, oh, am I tempted or not, you know, you're going to make that decision yourself. But if you're definitely keen on getting into these armies, Solid Gravelord ones, definitely buy that. I'd say that's definitely worth it. In terms of, you know, the models are really cool, obviously. It's a good starter army as well for the army. You're not going to end up with these models and go, I'm not going to use them in my games because I just don't think they're very good, etc. And it's great, fantastic value for money, and I think they're all great, fantastic value for money. So sort of collect that as a whole. The Heat Knights of Slaanesh one, I think, again, not the most competitive army, so just get that out of your way. But the models are fantastic, and it's great value. And you can't really buy, and it's the same with the Gravelord one. So, you know, you can't really buy these models separately in bundle boxes anyway. So it's all really good value already there. There's not another easier way to get these models. And then going on to the Luminesce Realm ones. I know Luminesce Realm ones are generally pretty damn good in the meta. Consistency since they're like released, really. And I know a lot of that's down to Sentinels, I think. And you don't get any Sentinels in this box, you know. Boo-hoo, but you're probably going to have more friends at the end of it, like I say. But the Luminesce Realm ones is clearly the best value for money. The models are, you know, are cool as well, if you like. I say, not really my thing. But what I will say is that you can't really buy these models, you know, in other box sets for cheap, unless there's a few of the horse riders, whatever they're called, and the spearmen. Unless they're, you know, the wardens, you can still get them cheap from leftovers of the first Luminesce box set, maybe, but I don't really think so anymore. So that's good value. And then the Ossiarch Bone Reaper one is a great start to an army. Like I already mentioned when I broke it down, you can't really buy those models again separately for cheap, and it's fantastic money. So I can really pretty much recommend all these boxes if you want to get into the armies. The only one is probably the Heat Knights of Slaanesh. Like I say, because it's not the most competitive army, but if you want to do it anyway, then it's a good box for you. You're going to get so many models for your money, and I think that really just summarises it. These are really good value for money. If they are priced at £125, just want to make that clear. If you're watching this in a week from now and they've revealed the price or whatever, and these are like £150, then my view is going to be, I mean, if you want all the stuff anyway, you're going to get it cheaper. But it hasn't got that whole like grabbing that sort of incentive to go, oh, I have to buy, I can't miss out on this, it's too good value. Yeah, you can miss out if you're not really that bothered. But that is my thoughts on those 4 boxes. And obviously, if you can buy these from a third-party retailer, I'm not sponsored by any of them, obviously, but buy it from a third-party retailer. Don't buy it from Games Workshop unless you game and stuff. Your Games Workshop, buy where you play, essentially. But if you don't do that, buy it from a third-party retailer, because then it'll just be flat out cheaper. Instead of paying like £125, might be paying like £105. Who knows? So definitely do that. And that is my thoughts on these boxes. I just want to have a quick look at something else to do with the Lord of the Rings. There's a box set coming out for that. I wanted to cover the Battleforce stuff first, though. So if you're not interested in Lord of the Rings or what I think you could use for it in Age of Sigmar, you can finish ending watching this video now. If you do that, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you do want to, please smash the like button, subscribe button, and bell button. But let's go on to the Lord of the Rings stuff. So we have got, I might not read all of it, but I just want to look at the scenery and stuff really, because I think that could be fantastic for Age of Sigmar. So it says, instead of burning wood on a fire this Christmas, why not use it to build a Rohan Stronghold? So here we are. It says December is almost here. The scent of pine and mould drinks hang in the air. And what could be more festive than building and painting a wooden Rohan Stronghold to keep out the roving warbands of Isengard? Just to be clear, in case you haven't seen one of my videos I mentioned before, absolutely love Lord of the Rings, favourite film trilogy of all time. So I don't play the game, but I'm looking at doing it. I bought some rule books and stuff, and my mate's got a hell of a lot of unpainted Lord of the Rings models. So we're looking at doing that in 2022, so next year around springtime. So that'd be cool. So could be getting this for that, but just generally for Age of Sigmar, I think it's really quite good. So you're going to get, it says, okay, so it's not actually made of wood, but you can, okay, blah, blah, blah. It compromises of a whopping 8 terrain kits, 6 Rohan houses to form the settlement itself, and a pair of Rohan watchtowers and palisades set to protect the buildings within, more than enough to bring even the largest gaming table to life. And I think that's, I mean, there's so much stuff here that I can't remember how much this was when you could buy it separately, but I imagine this is not going to be a cheap box, like over £100, maybe 150. I don't know, but if the scale's right for Age of Sigmar, and I know it's slightly different, but if it fits in well enough, it's only scenery at the end of the day. I think this could be fantastic. You want to have a city as Sigmar. Sort of like an outpost city, or even just like a city that also uses a lot of wood and all that sort of realm of life, whatever. Or you can really paint this up. I mean, that doesn't have to be. You look at those palisades and stuff, and cut those horses off for the builder. That doesn't have to be by Cities of Sigmar or Order. That could be a Slaves of Darkness, Norskin themed, with the thatched roof and stuff, isn't it? There, you could make it work and do a little bit of conversions. And I think that's really quite cool. I'm not going to read that. A mini game for Battle and Violence Stones, that could be quite cool. But I won't go into all that because this video's gone on for long enough. But I think this could be really, really quite cool. And to use in future games, I'm going to be trying to do battle reports and stuff, like I say, and going forward in the future, hopefully. We'll try that and see how that goes. Like very narrative styled, and this stuff could work out well for that, as it's quite hard to get buildings and all that sort of thing for Age of Sigmar. And when I say it's hard, I mean I mainly mean if money's no object, it's not hard, because you can get some fantastic 3D printed buildings. But if you want to have like a table's worth of terrain, and this doesn't give you like let's say a 6x4 foot table's worth of terrain, but it gives you, if you want like a built up town or something, but it gives you a decent chunk. It could be really quite cool. But with that, guys, that is going to be the end of this video. So I'm going to thank you all very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please do me a massive favour and smash the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell notification. Like I always say, by smashing those 3 buttons, essentially what that means is I can keep this up. I can keep making these videos for you guys, and it's absolutely free for you guys to do so. So if you could, I'd massively appreciate it. Essentially, it's a small thing, but it makes a big difference. And then if you'd like to support me a step further, I have, as I've always mentioned, got a YouTube membership and a Patreon. So what does that mean? So that means if you click the join button next to the subscribe button, you'll be able to become a member here on Age of Nagash, which by pressing that button, doing that, you can give anything from £1 a month. You can give more if you like to, but it goes straight towards keeping this channel going. It's like I said, by liking, subscribing, and smashing the bell button, they all help and get the channel growing. But There are people supporting me, like you can see on the screen now, and I'll read through them in a moment. I wouldn't be able to do this. You know, this takes far too much time and effort. And I know I've slowed down a little bit on videos lately, but that's just life getting in the way at the end of the day. But these still take a long time. Like those Soul Blood Gravelord videos, they take all about, I don't know, at least 8 hours each and stuff. So these people really, really help me and keep me going. So if you would like to become a member here in Age of Nagash, click the join button, or if there is a link, there will be a link at the top of the description down below, takes you to my Patreon. And if you would like to give anything from just $1 a month, you could do. Be absolutely amazing. Just consider it. And then the people who have made that amazing decision are on the screen, like I mentioned. So we have got my biggest supporter is going to be my Vampire Lord on a Zombie Dragon, who is Filq. And Filq gives a huge amount of support to the channel every month, never goes unnoticed. Thank you so much for doing that. Really is a huge chunk to what keeps us going. So thank you so much for that, Filq, and continue being awesome. And then my Morgasts are going to be Bleed Red, the Mortarch of the Necropolis, Edward P, and Gullswept Dandy. Guys, thank you so much. And Morgasts, again, it's a very generous amount you're giving to the channel. Thank you so much, and please keep it up. And then my vampires, who always say at the core, that keeps Age of Nagash going. We're going to have Ben C, Rouse321, David A, Dragoonity, Ronni H, Darren L, SpareBear, Christopher H, Northdrop, Nathan F, Andrew G, Tom W, Wiggy Whooty, and Nathan S. Guys, thank you all so much for giving, again, a very nice amount to the channel. It really does mean a lot to me, so thank you so much. And then my Necromancers, who are Jacq.l, RadiationRiley, AW77, Dice Sagas, WolfNick, Michal W, Cranky Wombat, Tom M, Christopher C, Christopher F, James S, Thomas B, Steve T, James T, Patrick F, JJ, R. Christopher, Sception, and Shaun S. Guys, thank you all so much for allowing me to keep this up and help get as many people into this hobby and help them on their hobby journey in Age of Sigmar, which is fantastic. And if you'd like to support their way, like I say, click the join button or link to my Patreon down below. But if you can't do that, no worries. If you would like to support the channel a step further and you think, if you really like the video, subscribe, bell notification, what can you do? If you know anyone who would enjoy the video, share it with them. And if that gets someone else into the channel, at the end of the day, that makes a huge difference as well. And it's free. And if you would like to join the Discord, we've got a link to that in the description of this video. And like I said, the Discord is a fantastic community. It's helped me out today with providing me information for these boxes so I can help give to you guys. And we've got people joining every day. We've got, I always say about 350 members, but we probably have more than that now. Fantastic community, just focused on Warhammer, nothing about the real world, all that sort of thing, meaning just a bit of escapism, if you like, and everyone there's just really, really nice. So if you'd like to join it, you're more than welcome. And with that, guys, I'm going to thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, this isn't like an in-depth tactical analysis of, you know, what is the most competitive thing and all that sort of thing. This is just like, here's some 4 cool boxes coming out. Are they worth buying? Is games worth trying to sweep under the rug by making you think they're worth it, and they're not really? And happily, I can say that I think they're all worth buying if you would like to do those armies. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, like I say. Remember, until next time, to stay safe, stay hygienic, make sure you wear a mask and wash your hands always when you're gaming. And until next time, remember, more importantly, that Nagash is all, and all is one in Nagash. And I do hope you appreciated the Christmas bow as well, as that has actually added quite a bit of style, I think, to this video. See you later.